Saw this really entertaining post by my favorite poster, Eric Stryker, Mr. Stryker. He goes, if the FBI is so white Christian and conservative, why do the Jews at the New York Times love it so much? I'm not sure they do, maybe a little bit. Where are the demands for diversity among FBI directors who have been highly competent white men since the beginning? Wasn't the founder a cross-dresser or whatever? Mr. Hoover? Anyway, whatever. Jews don't put women and minorities in charge of the FBI because this is one institution that political police, that they need to be effective. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, the FBI is important, but so is a bunch of other things like the CIA, Department of Justice, etc. And the Department of Justice sits over top the FBI. Historically, though, the FBI has been arguably the most culturally conservative and traditionally white Christian institution in the entire U.S. government. It's an institution so culturally conservative, even by the standards of law enforcement, that Democratic presidents never felt comfortable or politically emboldened enough to nominate a Democrat to head the bureau. I don't know, it doesn't seem accurate to me, but I don't got the facts in front of me. That's right. Far from being a bastion of political progressive thinking, every single director of the FBI has been a Republican-aligned official going all the way back to its creation. Such history suggests that the issue here is Mr. Trump. I'm not even sure about the accuracy of this. Who appointed Hoover? The FBI was around like back in the 30s. I don't know if it was created under FDR. Maybe I should have done some more research on this, but whatever. By at least one measure, the Bureau still remains the least woke core of federal agents. It now stands as the last and only one of the top dozen federal law enforcement agencies, among them ICE, Border Patrol, DEA, Secret Service, and Park Police, that has never had a woman or person of color lead the agency. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that'll change. But the point of this video is, okay, so I'm talking about the duplicity of Eric Stryker, the National Justice Party, these types of people that are big into the JQ, and basically their narrative doesn't change no matter what the facts are. Like they change the explanation to match the facts to the same narrative, basically. So like if the FBI was headed by Jews, be a tool of the Jews, just like the Federal Reserve or something like this, even though that's not headed by Jews now either. But you know, why let facts get in the way of the bullshit you want to say? What was I going to say? Okay, so when there's no Jews, well, it's because the Jews aren't competent enough to run it. Or maybe it's because they want to arouse suspicion, so they're hiding behind the scenes. And they're doing this. They're still 100% fully in control. So you see what I'm saying here? Whether it's 100% Jews or 0% Jews, the narrative is like it covers their bases because they just finagle their way around it. So I don't know. I find this pretty entertaining. Like, let's say regarding Israel or any issue, all Jews are on the same side. It's because they're all in it together. That's all they care about, being Jewish, and they're sticking up for themselves. Now, if there's two totally opposing views and there's Jews on both sides, it's the kosher sandwich. They're trying to cover both sides and control everything. So, like, literally no matter what happens, they could never be wrong. They just change the explanation to match whatever they want. So, I just find it to be incredibly funny and interesting. They also do this with whatever their results are. Like when they have a protest, if it got massive media coverage, it would be an epic win. Like, we're on the rise, or on the march, nothing can stop us. And if nobody comes, it's because they don't want to cover us. Because if they cover us, they know we'll get attention and we'll win. So it's more proof that we're unstoppable. I find these explanations pretty funny. That's why I follow people like this. Another one of these kind of duplicitous explanations is they have this narrative that like nobody can stop us in the market of free ideas. If we were in the marketplace for free ideas, we would have already taken over the country by now. We would be in power because nobody can beat us in an argument or debate, even though they've lost several of those, like to Destiny, who in the whole grand scheme of things is a fucking nobody. If we had equal access to the public airwaves, we'd be running the country right now. And the only reason why we don't is because they won't let us. It's not fair. They're preventing us from having our free speech. Meanwhile, what do they plan to do? Not just take away people's free speech, but citizenship, everything else. So they want to go way beyond taking away people's free speech, including stripping them of citizenship and residency. And probably they're willing to do basically anything because they're, you know, a white genocide, right? All tactics are justified to prevent genocide. So then they're not given they're denied what they think is a right, but it's not really a right. So they don't like the Constitution anyway, but they like want the Constitution to try to like get a foothold. Whatever. It's all contradictory and duplicitous, is my point. But like, if they were just given free speech, they would win the argument. That's why they have to be denied a place. Couldn't you say the same thing about other extremist groups like ISIS or something? Like, oh, if people were to stop being mean to us and just let us have our YouTube videos, like, we would be in power by now. But we're such a threat. That's why we're not running things. Like, couldn't multiple groups say that? Like, couldn't the mafia be like, oh, we used to run this town. We don't run it anymore because they opposed us because people don't like us. But if they just let us do what we want, like, we would run this shit again. Just like in The Godfather. Or it'd be like, I could say the same thing about fighting Mike Tyson in his prime. Like, I could beat the fuck out of Mike Tyson in his prime if he just wouldn't resist and, like, just didn't fight back and let me punch him. Or maybe fought me with both hands tied behind his back and, like, his legs shackled together. I could beat the fuck out of him, but they won't let me do that. And they fight, he resists and he fights back, so I can't win. So I just find these explanations and copes really funny. I just like to point them out. It's like this game of literary trickery. You know, it would be like meeting someone and they said like, oh, I'm a billionaire. Oh, really? Why do you drive that piece of shit car then? Oh, well, I'm trying to avoid attention and showing how rich I am, so that's why I drive this piece of shit. But like, I saw you on the ATM over there. How come you don't have any balance in your checking account? Oh, the same reason. You know, it's what you call the emperor has no clothes. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to substantiate this stupid ideology and movement. So they had to create this show of imaginary strength, which is what they do. But yeah, their ideas get destroyed when they actually debate competent people. They just like posture like they always win. Like Holocaust deniers have never lost a debate in their minds, right? Their ideas are widely accepted amongst them. So yeah, I just appreciate this phenomenon and wanted to bring attention to it and say how interesting it is. Any other examples I can think of? Not sure. Anyway, or like, sort of like how they won World War II, or would have won World War II, but like people, nefarious forces, the Jews basically, rose up and stopped them, which is another farce. Like, the Soviet Union literally did not care about Jews. They lie about that, of course. The United States did not give a fuck. Didn't offer them any significant refuge or speak out against what was going on. Great Britain stood against it the most, I would say, like Churchill, but still didn't really care that much, supposedly, for countries completely under the control of Jews. But look, why let facts get in the way of your narratives that serves your purpose? Because ultimately, and I've said this before, at the end of the day, it's not even really about standing against Judaism per se. It's about using Jews as a scapegoat and kind of viewing it as this mystical force you can wrap anything that you oppose in. So, like, who's behind everything you don't like? Oh, the Jews, of course. You know, put them in the same bucket. We need to get rid of all of them, or all of their influence. So it's not even really about anti-Judaism. It's more than that. It's about not liking this group of people because they're not us, so who cares how they're treated, but also using them and this type of mysticism to wrap everything into one nefarious force that can be gotten rid of. Anyway, whatever. I'm done with this rant. Everyone have a good day. Go listen to some Eric Stryker and some more ridiculous takes from him.